No.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay, kia ora everyone. I'm really, really happy to be able to be here this morning and share what we're doing. Um, just sort of a little background. I used to work for Trees for Survival, and so I was really in the revegetation side of things, and it's very exciting to learn something new. So I started in mid-March, and then lo and behold, end March, we went into a COVID-19 lockdown. So it's been interesting if challenging, but it was actually quite a good opportunity to sort of get stuck in my bubble, put my head down and do some serious groundwork. So I'll start with a bit of an overview of the purpose of my role. It is to support and to facilitate the groups in the ranges that are undertaking pest, animal and pest control, planting trees, protecting kauri and dotterels and petrels and Waitakere, and really it's an endless list of everything that's going on there. And the real value of what I'm going to be doing is about connecting the dots, closing the gaps, and taking this type of landscape scale approach will really achieve greater efficiencies and effectiveness for everyone and for biodiversity restoration. So having this collective advantage enables us to make collaborative funding approaches. We'll be able to share resources, possibly look at shared training, and ultimately achieve cost savings for everyone. So the first things that I started doing when I started, and I've just been at it for almost 2 months now, was really about gathering information, and the purpose being to establish a clear picture of exactly what is happening in the Waitakeres, and who is doing it, where it's being done, and we need to know what is happening for our next steps to be informed. And so what will be rolled out hopefully next week is a series of surveys aimed at looking at what support and resources the groups need. Are you collecting data, and are you mapping your activity? What tools are you using? Tell us what features you'd like in an Alliance website. So those are the sorts of things we want to know, and naturally we want to engage with Tangata Whenua as well. Once the information gathering has taken place, and hopefully that section of what I'm doing is going to be completed within the next 2 or 3 weeks. The fun part really starts, because that's when we get to implement the information. And it will be about reorganizing everything into sort of a landscapes-wide map. And it will be about developing a logo and establishing a website, and sort of just those foundational things from which to springboard off, and just be able to do what's on the next slide, and that is looking ahead. So it's to truly step things up and have a run at possibly an eradication scenario. We'll need to develop some key partnerships, and we need to secure some really significant funding. So I'm sort of talking about quite a large scale program that I would love for us to be able to implement. And so to this end, we'll look to establish an Alliance-mandated landscape-wide plan for pest eradication and biodiversity enhancement, which would be underpinned by a comprehensive communications and implementation plan. And really, the Waitakeres, we're so fortunate to be able to be working within an amazing landscape. And I think the exciting thing is that the results of the hard work, really, as you're doing it, I think you start seeing results little by little as bird life increases. And really, I can't wait to have a he visit or hear the foghorn call of a bittern. I think it's very exciting. So I'm very excited to be starting on this journey with everybody in the Alliance. And so if anyone has questions, then I'd be very happy to see if I'm able to answer. Pam, your mic is big.
Can we just take your presentation, stop sharing?
Yes.
Because
sorry.
I can't see the chat box. Oh, great. I couldn't see the chat box to see if...
Neither could I.
Okay, look, people have joined us. If you could mute your microphone, that would be awesome. I could hear someone clambering upstairs and actually. And also, Juliet has asked, who's funding your role and how long is the contract for?
What happened? Okay, sorry, I was reading chats. At the moment, Waitakere Rangers Local Board is funding this role. So thank you so much. We're very, very grateful. And I am employed until the end of August.
Stage.
But I hope to get quite a lot done before then. So
we're really hopeful that we can keep Michelle on and that we can really start to make a dent in some of our aspirations to protect the Waitakere Rangers heritage area. And so I'm incredibly grateful to have Michelle along because it's quite surprising how much work there is behind the scenes.
I was surprised too, actually. There's been really a lot of work, but I suppose the key here is that with this sort of role, you don't really see the results straight away because there's so much that needs to be put in place just as a starting point, and that's what I'm doing right now. But I think that once we can start looking at partnerships with key stakeholders and perhaps look at some significant funding, that's when we'll be able to ramp up our activities and just take it to the next level.
And I understand at the moment you're looking at perhaps sending a survey out to groups. Could you just talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, please be aware that hopefully that will go out next week. And it's sort of a 3-phase process. Phase 1 will be just to sort of check that what we have on the contacts list that I've sort of pulled together is correct. And I know there's quite a bit of dated information on there. So that would be phase 1, and it's probably likely to be an email. Secondly, we will also have a little link for an actual survey just around things that we really love to know, like what would you like to see on the website? We want to make it so that everybody can perhaps, that it's a hub for all the groups and that it can be used by everyone. Perhaps there's an opportunity to look at a fundraising feature on the website for everyone's mutual benefit. So there's that sort of thing. And then the third thing will be I'll be phoning group contacts and just having a chat and finding out more about the mapping, finding out about what tools are being used and is the activity being tracked and where is it going, and just sort of those and what sort of activity is happening, how many people. You see, there's just so many questions that we need answers to, but it will inform a large landscape scale map and which everyone will be able to see, and we'll be able to see straight away where the gaps are and identify areas that need extra helpers or that sort of thing.
But it's also how we can better support mahi of what people are doing on the ground so that they can really grow what they're doing and hopefully connect the dots, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's my job is to serve and to facilitate the groups. I'm here to make life easier for everybody on the ground, and I think putting an infrastructure in place to do, will be sort of one of the first things that needs to be done. So that's what I'm working on in the first instance. Yeah, but then I think that things like generating extra volunteer help will flow out of that, because we'll make sure that we build in those capabilities into our website, for instance.
And I've got a question here. Is this the first time this role has existed?
Yes. And so that's why there's quite a lot of groundwork that's needed to take place. It's a very exciting role, and it's a very needed role.
And we've also got what are the most likely source of ongoing funding? For example, potential partners. It's a leading question.
Well, I know who I have in mind. Naturally, I think if we were able to align with council, the local board as well as Auckland Council, that would be my first port of call. And also just for in-kind support, because councils have a lot of, they've got survey teams, they've got all sorts of things. And so potentially if we could leverage off things that are existing and not have to put in place ourselves, that would be great. So in-kind partnerships, and then of course we'd look at sort of some big funders, and I won't sort of expand on that just at the moment, because of course we're just not nearly there in the planning just yet.
Oh, thank you. And so you're going to be working on landscape scale, really touching and touching base with all of our groups. So I think that that's a really great place to start, and we're really wanting to build a relationship with the Kawerau Maki. So yeah, working towards that. Now I've just
sorry, just to add very quickly, there's obviously a lot that wasn't in the slideshows, but one of the things that I do want to do is I want to get around every single group and come and have a day out where I help in the field, and with 100 odd groups, well, it would take a while, but needless to say, if I could do one a week or one, that's the plan. So I'd love to meet everyone. I'd love to come and do some weed control with you, or some trapping or whatever. So keep that in mind, and when we come out of lockdown, let me know and I'll come out and help you.
Just a couple of comments on the side. We had someone mentioned about perhaps the Whitebait Connection as a potential partner. Someone else mentioned tapping into the government to get people working, and we're definitely thinking about that.
Those suggestions are fantastic, and do keep them coming. I mean, just send me an email if you have an idea, because this is actually a collaboration, it's an alliance, and it's about working together, and I'm really just sort of collating everybody's ideas into a sort of a single stream, as it were. But I'm here to facilitate, so please do make use of that.
And your email is?
You can send it to pestfreewaitakere@gmail.com, and I think everybody here might have, I will email everyone afterwards just with a link, so you'll have the email.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Michelle. And,
thank you.
And so look, I'm